Hi guys, Alex Fedorov here. In this video, we'll learn how to develop profitable and winning strategy for your Facebook advertising campaigns. Whether you're doing it for yourself or for your clients. In this video, we'll go specifically how to do it and how to fix any unprofitable funnel, any unprofitable Facebook ad. So the way we will do it is, the best way I can illustrate it is if you want to eat an elephant, it's best to eat an elephant one bite at a time. So there's a lot of confusion right now in the marketplace about Facebook advertising. People try to make it more complicated than it is. My goal is for you to today to break it down into few course principles and ideas that you can implement, and simply when something bad happens, when your campaigns are not performing as you wish them to perform, you know exactly where to look, and you know exactly what to change to make them profitable. um, so we will learn how to map the strategy for your ad campaign, so you know exactly what ads you need to create and when. We'll learn how to establish KPIs for your campaign, so you're never losing money and always profitable on each stage of your funnel. Main ideas you need to understand before we start is you cannot start without the strategy for your advertising campaign. Most people are, for example, even when they get new clients, like the first thing they do is going to Power Editor or Adverse Manager and just launching the campaigns. And this is not, this is like basically this is a way to disaster, because like if that is like brand new account, you don't have much of the data. You need like to first lay out the strategy, how you're planning to how you're planning to lay out that campaign in order to make it as profitable as possible. You need to establish your KPIs, because if you don't know like what to optimize for, like what numbers you need to achieve, there is no way you can make it profitable, because like you'll be like walking in the dark without without proper guidance and without any metrics what to optimize for. So you need to be able to measure the performance of your advertising. If you just understand the simple principles that basically like advertising is like you're buying traffic, you're buying eyeballs, and you're guiding those eyeballs through specific steps that they need to see in order to purchase your product. And if something doesn't work with your advertising, it's usually because of like not because the whole strategy is failing, but because one of the steps in your funnel or one of the steps in your Facebook advertising doesn't work. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how to find that weak spot and fix it, so you put your campaigns back on track. And so you need to be able to optimize each stage of your funnel to achieve profitability. So by the end of this training, you'll know the exact step-by-step process that I'm using to make your Facebook advertising and funnel profitable for your campaigns or for your clients' campaigns. And like the main like mind kind of mind shifts that I want you to comprehend is you don't need to think about Facebook advertising as just putting together some ads. Like people saying like throwing some ads together. That's not the way it works. Like successful campaigns that are running profitably for a long time, they usually have a strategy. Like 99%, they have a strategy behind them. Um, like the person who created them thought about how to take people from the cult state, like from not knowing their brand at all, to gradually starting trusting that brand and purchasing the product. So I want you to think of it as a highly effective system that you can put together. It's not difficult to do. I'll just show you a few examples that you can just take away and implement into your clients' campaigns, and just think differently about Facebook advertising and funnels and all of that stuff. So here, for example, if you're running Facebook ads plus automated webinar strategy, webinar process. Basically, if you are using automated webinars to get people registered for the register for a webinar and then attending, and then on the webinars there's some there's some products that is being sold, and certain percentage of people will buy that product, and other people will not buy this product. So most people are just approaching this as like they're running ads and just they want to make it profitable just using ads. But here are like more elements to it. So when you're running your ad, for example, this ad is getting people registered for, getting people clicking on the link that gets them to the registration page, and then people visiting the webinar, live webinar page, and after they see the pitch, they'll see the sales page where they can purchase or not purchase the product. So like that's the usual. Like most of the people would simply run one ad, or like run several variations of this ad just to registration page. And what will happen is, like, here you'll have on average like 20 to 50% of people will register for a webinar front end. So it means that you lose like 50 to 80% of people who will not register. Like, they'll simply visit the page and they will leave. So you'll have people who have seen your page but haven't registered. So what you do in this case is you create, on top of your like one cold audience ad, you would create one other ad, retargeting ad, and this ad could simply say, hey, you visited the registration page for XXX offer, but you haven't registered. What happened? It's going to be a lot of value. You should register. Here is exactly what you'll get. Maybe some bullet points for those people, like what exactly they'll see on that webinar, and then there's call to action. So this ad would be targeted at people who haven't registered on the front end of this page. So they visited this page but haven't registered. So we will have this one, this ad, and this ad will increase a number of people who will register and actually attend the webinar. So now we'll have attendees who, there is like usually 1% to 5% of people who will purchase the product through evergreen webinar. So what you'll see is like 95 to 99% of people will be actually will not buy the product. So what you will have in that case is you'll have another targeted ad that is talking to these people who are just like visited the webinar and haven't bought. So what you will have in this ad is some message that is that says about the benefits of the product, or it will fight some of the objections that people usually have with that product. So for instance, if that would be a webinar and where they're sold, like where you sell some business improvement training, for instance, you would have some kind of testimonial with this ad. So you'll say that Jack has joined us like 3 months ago, and he's already has added 50% to his business. He's working less than ever, and he's living great life. So you would have this ad here, and you would say in that, hey, thank you for attending our breakthrough session. I hope you loved it, and check what Jack has achieved with us after he joined our program. So that would be the ad here, and then on the sales page. You would have another retargeting ad, so people who visited the sales page but they haven't purchased, so you would have extra ad for that, and that might be carousel with testimonials, or that can be a video message from the founder of the company, from you if you're running ads for yourself, or from the business owner you're working with, or with from someone on your team that is basically speaking on them and asking why they haven't purchased, and how you can help them to maybe they have some questions, so they can leave a section in the comment section and just finalize the purchase, or just having the main questions answered in the copy. So you would say that this is like 30 days guarantee of money back guarantee, and you would say that you have certain amount of people who successfully completed it and have great results with the training and stuff like that. So that is like on top of your main ad. You would have these 3 extra ads. Also, you'll have the business you're working with, or your business. You will have email notifications, email reminders to people who have attended, and just driving them to the sales page and getting them to complete the purchase. So that is basically the strategy that will make sure that you maximizing your chances of being profitable with this campaign. And a bit later we'll go exactly and break down the numbers, how much you should pay for registration, how much you should pay for attendee, how much you should pay for a sale, and we'll break these numbers down so you know exactly what to optimize for and what to aim for. So the another like ads that another strategy that actually that I wanted to show is for e-commerce. For instance, if you're working with e-commerce stores, that is kind of the funnels that you can use. So like where many people make mistakes is sometimes their product is a bit more complicated than for example, clothes or shoes. It's pretty easy to understand. You just may lay out some benefits of the product in the ad copy, and you can just drive people to the product and to the product page, and people will complete the purchase. But with some products like skincare, for instance, or weight loss products, you might need a bit more explanation. How your product is different from everything else in the marketplace. Maybe it's using some scientific formula, or it has some other benefits that other products do not. So you would need the pre-sale page. So you would drive people from your pre-sale ad that would basically sell not the product, but the click to the article where you explain, for instance, 5 tips to improve your skin color with without any like surgery or stuff like that. So some tips for people to implement, and there you will have the information about your product and how it lines up with the goals of your of the audience that you're targeting. And you'll also have links to the product page, so if person decides to purchase right away on the spot on your pre-sale page, they can do it. If not, you can you retarget everyone who visited that page to your ad, and you also can target you target people who have visited that page, but haven't completed the purchase, to your regular ad where you basically already selling the product. Maybe you're offering some incentive for people to join, like 5% off or something. And there you simply drive people to the product page. Because these people have already visited the page, they're already pre-qualified, pre-framed, you'll have higher conversion rates. These are like warm audience. And you will drive them there. And then if they don't buy from after first click, so you would like segment people who have visited this page, product page, but haven't purchased, non-buyers, and you would have retargeting ad. Um, maybe you'll have some like testimonials from your customers, or you'll have some guarantees, or you'll have some like free shipping or some other benefits of buying from you. So you'll have it there in this ad. Then you'll have the cart page where you'll have another ad. If someone visits the cart page but doesn't buy, you'll have another retargeting ad where you will specify as well some benefits. Maybe you'll have some incentive, 10% off or something, for people also to incentivize them and complete the purchase. And then, of course, you'll have the checkout page. You'll have people who are visiting the checkout page, like who are purchasing your product. You can have some upsells and cross sells to those people. You can upsell them different products. You can ask them to share some information about your company with their friends for a coupon code, or just offer them some incentive. And then of course you'll have some retargeting ads for other audiences, for example, that have engaged with the content, with the page, that have viewed the video. So you would drive those people to the product page. So that's basically how it would work, like for e-commerce. So you'd have at least 4 or 5 ads, different ads for different audiences, and depending on where in the sales funnel those people are. And of course, you need to remember about this pre-sell, because if product is more complicated, then you would just go to the store and just purchase without even looking at the label. Then you would just go straight to the sale. But if not, you need to use pre-sell. So that is for it. You have 2 strategies. Like there are different products, of course. Like there are lead generation, where you don't need that complicated funnel, but these are kind of the examples that you can use and implement right away. So after we have this strategy in place, so that is your strategy basically. You need to lay out what specific assets you need to create. You need to create cold audience ad, retargeting ad to the product, and all of these other ads, and write ad copy and have images. So just preparing those all creatives, just having this written down, so you have everything ready when you're ready to launch. So after we have this strategy in place, we need to establish KPIs. And KPIs, guys, KPI is a key performance indicator. That is basically how we will evaluate the performance of our campaign and see if it fits our goals. And basically those KPIs you need to evaluate with your client, or with your own business. You need to identify what is important for you, whether it's return on ad spend, ROI, or it's just cost per sale. For instance, if you have static cost per sale, some one product, for instance, that costs like $1,000, and you just selling it all the time, or you have 20 different products and you're doing advertising for all of them, and you're just measuring the ROI for all of them on average, and you want to achieve 2x or 3x or 5x return on ad spend. So it's depending on you, and I would recommend you start from the end. So the main goal is just cost per sale, how much you're spending to get a sale, and all of these metrics are also important, like cost per click, conversion rate, lifetime customer value, average order value. These are very important, but you first of all need to measure the cost cost per sale or return on ad spend, because this is the ultimate metrics that, for instance, if you're spending $50 to make $100, you're profitable and you would just like spend this money all day long, as you're profitable. But if you are spending $100 and you're getting $80 sale, that is not profitable and you will not last for long with such advertising costs. So you'll need to identify how much you can spend to get a sale, how much you can spend to get a lead, or whatever the main metric in your business or in your client business is. Or if you're aiming for return on ad spend, what is that ROI, and how much you can spend. We'll do these specific calculations here. So, for instance, the goal here is this is e-commerce store, just a fictional example. So AOV, average order value in the store, is $40. That means that you can spend $20 to get a sale, because you're aiming to get at least 2x ROI. So for instance, business owner or your business, you're measuring that you're spending approximately 50% on overhead, on costs, on product, on fulfillment, and then you have half of the cost to actually get a sale. So that means in this specific scenario, AOV in the store $40, you want to achieve 2x, so you want to spend $20 and get $40 in return. So it means in this case you'll spend $20 max to get a sale. And also know by your stats that conversion rate in the store is 2%. That means you can pay $20 for 50 clicks to your website on average to hit your CPA. The way I calculated it is $20, how much you can spend for a sale in 50 clicks. So 50 clicks is because 2% conversion rate, and you'll so every 50th person will purchase, on average, according to this number. So that means you'll need 50 clicks, and you can pay $20 max to get those clicks. It means that you can spend maximum 40 cents to get a click to your website. So with this account, KPIs to track would be cost per sale $20, cost per click 40 cents, and ROI on ad spend, which you can also measure with Facebook right now, and actually have automated rules to stop your ad sets or campaigns if you don't hit those KPIs with Facebook. So Facebook will automatically stop them running if they don't hit your KPIs. And another example, we want to achieve 2x ROI on ad spend in informational product niche. So here we have the cost of the product is $1,500. The conversion rate for this product, we know that on average 100 people visit the sales page and one person is purchasing, and that means that you can spend up to $750 to get a sale, because you want 2x ROI. So as you can see, 2x ROI. So we want to spend $750 and get $1,500 in return. So it means that we can spend $750 to get 100 registrants, because conversion rate is 1%. So that means we can spend maximum of $7.50 cost per lead for our webinar. And that is our metric that we will optimize. And also another metric on the front end, we'll have registration page, and the registration page usually converts in 50% with cold traffic. So we cannot pay more than $1.50 per click. So just want to illustrate it for you here. So you'll have ad, and on average we know that on this registration page 20 to 50 people will register. So we have identified that you can spend $7.50 to $7.50 to get 1 registrations. registration, and then we know that 20 to 50% will register. So the other people will simply visit the page but will not register. So then we know that, like, let's say if it's 20% is minimum, we need 5 clicks from the ad to the landing page, to the registration page, to get our registration. So that means $7.50. $7.50 divided by 5 clicks, and that will be $1.50. That's what we can spend for a click from the ad to our registration page. As you can see, guys, this is very straightforward, like this simply numbers. So for instance, if you're not hitting your numbers, if your ROI is not profitable, you know exactly where to look for problems. So if you see your metrics and you can see that you're spending $2 on ad click, you know that you need to optimize this number. You need to create better ads. You need to test maybe some different creatives, different ad copy to get this registration, to get this cost per click and cost per registration lower. Because like this metric will dictate this metric, and this metric will dictate this metric, and this metric will dictate this metric. So it's all mutually dependent. But you know, you need to optimize each step in your funnel in order to make it profitable, and you have full control over that. So that is a good thing, because if something doesn't work, for instance, if you're pumping people here to your webinar, and you can see that for instance you're spending, like here you're hitting your numbers, you're spending $7.50 per registrant, and then like 100 people will attend the webinar, and then just you know, the one person out of 200 will purchase. So that means conversion rate of 0.1, like 0.5%. So that means you'll need to improve your webinar. You'll need to create, you know, better sales presentation in order to convert more visitors. So that is it for this section. So now we'll learn how to set up conversion points in the funnel and view reports. So for that purpose, I have here basically I have here the you know, the little funnel I put together just to test one client acquisition technique. I haven't used it for a long time because I got 2 clients out of it in a matter of a few days. But I haven't used it because I simply overbooked with new clients, and I have no capacity to accept new ones. But here's basically the process. So as you can see here, I've spent overall, I've spent like this is in Polish currency, so it's about $130 on this advertising, and I have received in total. So the way it worked, like people would go to the opt-in page, then people would go to this page where they would see case study, and then they would sign up for a Facebook Ads strategy call with me, and they'll be redirected here. So they are seeing my calendar, and they would book a call in my calendar. So in this funnel, my goal was to get like those strategy sessions, people who are scheduling a call with me for under $100, because I know that you know, my clients minimum they pay me $2,000 for the first months. Usually they pay $5,000 or more for managing their advertising. And I knew that if I convert 1 in 4, 1 in 5 into paying client, I'll be profitable. So I could spend like $500 to get a paying customer. And as you can see here, I actually hit my KPIs. I've spent $130, and I had scheduling. So I had 10 people who have scheduled a call with me, and 2 of those people have become my clients. So basically, I have hit my goals much, at much lower cost. But I just want to show you how I basically optimize it. So I had it here, cost per website registration. Um, so this is cost per per strategy sessions that I had booked. So this is very low. If you ask anyone in anyone who is doing those kind of funnels, I've paid $5 to get registrants, to get someone to schedule a call with me. As you can see, I've spent 146 zloty. It's Polish currency, so it's like $40 to get 10 calls. I had other ad sets, as you can see here, which were not profitable, and also I had in this specific ad set, I had cost per lead. I had cost per lead at $1, and here it's a bit more, like $1.30. So as you can see, it's very easy to like to optimize these numbers, and especially what we'll be learning in the further sections, if you're looking to get new clients for your Facebook advertising or for your agency. It's very easy to make profitable using these types of funnels, because the lifetime value like simply covers all the costs. But that's not the point here. The point is how to look at this data. So for instance, I knew that I could pay up to $100, up to 300 zloty, and I was paying only 16 to get someone to book a call with me. And yeah, then it's simply like I did not have more of the need for this funnel, and I simply stopped it. But you can see here. So for example, you can also have all this data in the report. So as you can see, it's called Alex View. So I would simply log in here, and I would see how much I'm spending to get a lead. I would see if that fits my KPI. I would see how much I'm spending to get a strategy session. I would see if it hits my KPI. How much I established, so it was lower than 300. So let's simply run it, and I would simply this advertising was profitable. And the same way you would do for your clients. So for your clients, if your important metrics for you are CPC and like ROI, you would have those metrics here in your dashboard. So I'll show you now how to set up these like actually conversion points if you don't know. For example, as you can see here, scheduling page visitor, and for example, lead for a case study funnels. These are some of the some of the conversion stages that I have created. But for instance, if I would want to create a new one, I would here. This would be the person who have visited the as you can see, Facebook Pixel is here, who have visited the case study page. So I would call that person a lead because they have passed through the registration page, visited the case study video page. That is it, guys. So as you can see here, visited case study. So this is it. And if I'll actually reload this page, this should become green here, because it will get some data. It will trigger the pixel. Oh, sorry. Thank you for clicking through to this. visit the case study video page. So as you can see here, this is like this is triggered and this is already measuring. So I could create ads with optimization for this specific um, like event, and I would have my ads. I would have Facebook optimizing to get me as many leads as possible to see my video. So that is it, guys. So as you can see, you can easily create custom conversions. Here you would have URL contains or URL equals. So URL contains if you have long URLs, and for instance, here I would have different variations like 1, 2, or 3, like different pages. I would use URL contains. I can also use URL equals if this is just one URL like this. So I can easily use this. And I would call it lead or purchase depending on the stage of the funnel that I'm using. So we get back to our presentation. So you can see reports. It's easy to see, and so you can send these reports to your clients. Put them in a spreadsheet I've sent you before for clients to see and measure the return on ad spend. So how you actually so for instance, let's just go through just the examples that we can do here. So the example we could do here is, for instance, if I would do this kind of advertising, and I would optimize for, I would not hit my cost per strategy session. So then, if I would not hit my cost per strategy session, I would first of all would check if my cost per lead is sufficient. And if like it's hitting like $5 or whatever, I would establish for that metric. And if that would not hit it, like if that would be like $7 or $10, I would optimize my front end landing page to get it from under the KPI. But on the other side, if like all the metrics would be okay and I would be getting leads for like $3, but at the same time like nobody would opt in for my strategy session, I would in that scenario I would simply change the video here on this page, because it would mean that this video is not converting and I need to replace it. So like this video should convert at about 5%, 5-10% of 5% to 10% of people who are visiting this page should book a call in your calendar. So that is it for this site. So we now move to the final stage here. So how to analyze your data and find where you can optimize. Like I showed you in an example, if you have something like you establish KPI, you establish cost per click that you can pay, you establish cost per lead that you can pay, and then something doesn't work, you watch for the what matrix is broken. Like if this is cost per click, you optimize, you create better ads, you create better CTAs in your ads, so you get better clicks, cheaper clicks. You test other audiences. Maybe your frequency is just too high and you're showing ads to the same people, so you'll need to analyze that data. And if your registration page is lower, you test different designs, you test different copy, so you optimize on that stage. If your webinar is not converting, you change it, you do a new sales presentation, you ask people why they haven't purchased from you, and you try to fight those objections on the webinar. And if your sales page is not converting, then you need to test some new designs also, and new ad copy, add more proof, maybe add video, and stuff like that to optimize your sales page. So, but data will show you everything, and after you have established your KPIs, how much you can spend to get to get certain metrics in your business or in your client business, it will be easy to achieve. You'll simply know where to optimize, and this will make your life so much easier. So few main rules that you need to remember here. If you have something that is working and you want to test something new to perform even better, never turn off ad sets that are performing within the KPI, and you simply test against them. You create a duplicate and just test some variables, maybe change the ad or change the targeting to test the performance against the original one. But if something working, like, don't break it. Second, if when you're testing things, test one element at a time. You don't wanna test ad copy, image, targeting. Like, test just one element at a time and make sure that you find real winner. For ad sets, for example, if you're testing webinar registrations and you have your CPA at $10 maximum, so that you can spend to get the registration, you can spend up to $20-$30. I'm spending up to $20-$30 to make sure it's not converting. If it's not converting, I will simply turn it off. And if you have bigger budgets, you can definitely test. Sometimes the ads will turn around. Like if you're spending $20, it's not converting, but then it's spending $35 and gradually, like, instantly you have like 5 registrations and it starts to optimize. But you would never know it if you turn it off earlier. So the more budgets you have to test, the better. Then you can spend like up to $50 to test it out. And when you find a leaking point in your funnel, work on fixing that first. So I've showed you, like, you simply break it down. You can have it written down on your board or in your notepad, or you have document with client where you share the screen with him and you show him the presentation where, like, what is lacking in ads. Basically, what is the missing element that is making it unprofitable. So that's it, guys. I hope it was valuable. I hope you found some insights, and I hope you'll define your strategy, winning profitable strategy for your Facebook advertising campaigns, and make your Facebook make the Facebook work for you or for your client. So see you in the next video, and thank you.